All right, well, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we cover all things cinema. So thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited to talk about Criterion Collection's February 2021 titles that are going to be coming out. So as you may know, on Friday the 13th, Criterion announced the 5 titles that they're going to be releasing this February. And I've had the opportunity to take a look at them on the Criterion website here, and I have to say I'm really excited about all of these. I mean, it's not typical, in a typical month, there's at least 1 or 2 titles that catch my eye. But in this case, I'm looking forward to seeing, I think, all of these titles. So without any further ado, let's jump into these. So the first title that's coming out in February is coming out on February the 9th, and that's the Parallax View. So this is a movie from director Alan J. Pakula. The Parallax View is the second of Pakula's Paranoia trilogy. So Criterion Collection released Clute last year, and that was from 1971, starring Donald Sutherland and Jane Fonda. That was the first film in Pakula's Paranoia trilogy. The second film in that trilogy is The Parallax View, which stars Warren Beatty, and that came out in 1974. So this is being released on the 9th of February. The third film in Pakula's trilogy is a film called All the President's Men. And I have a feeling that Criterion might be announcing that at some point. I suspect that they probably will, is my guess, since they've put out Clute and they're going to be putting out the Parallax View. It would only make sense that at some point they would probably, I presume they may be getting the rights to All the President's Men. Don't know for sure, but that's my guess. And that'll complete that trilogy of Alan Pakula's work. But this is the Parallax View, and it sounds really interesting here. I'll read the description on the Criterion site. It says, perhaps no director tapped into the pervasive sense of dread and mistrust that defined the 1970s more effectively than Alan J. Pakula, who in the second installment of his celebrated Paranoia trilogy offers a chilling vision of America in the wake of the assassinations of the Kennedys and Martin Luther King Jr., and about to be shocked by Watergate. 3 years after witnessing the murder of a leading senator atop Seattle's Space Needle, reporter Joseph Frady, played by Warren Beatty, begins digging into the mysterious circumstances surrounding the killing and stumbles into a labyrinthian conspiracy far more sinister than he could have imagined. So this sounds like a really interesting title, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out. That's Alan Pakula's The Parallax View, coming out February the 9th. Okay, so the second title that's coming out in February of 2021 is coming out on February the 16th. And this is from director Ousmane Sembene. And the title of this release is Mandabi. And this is the second feature by Ousmane Sembene. And this was the first movie ever made in the Wolof language. So it's a major step toward the realization of the trailblazing Senegalese filmmaker's dream of creating a cinema by, about, and for Africans. So Ousmane Sembene is an African filmmaker. The Criterion Collection released Black Girl a couple of years ago, I think. And that was the first film, I think, from Ousmane Sembene. So I know the Criterion Collection is making a concerted effort to feature more films from Black filmmakers and filmmakers of color. So I definitely think that's a positive step in the right direction. I really enjoyed that release of Black Girl. I thought that was a really interesting film that I think you should strongly consider checking out from Ousmane Sembene. And it's for that reason that I'm interested in this title too, Mandabi. So I'll be checking that one out when it comes out on February the 16th. All right, so we talked about the first 2 titles coming out in the month of February. The first being Alan Pakula's Parallax View, The Parallax View, on February the 9th. The second one being Ousmane Sembene's Mandabi, which is coming out on February the 16th. So on February the 23rd, that's a big date on the calendar. You may want to mark that date, because on that date, the Criterion Collection is releasing 3 titles on the 23rd. So the first 2 titles are from a director named Ramin Bahrani. And the first title is Man Push Cart, which sounds pretty interesting. So what is that about? It says here, a modern miracle of 21st century neorealism, the acclaimed debut feature by Ramin Bahrani speaks quietly but profoundly to the experiences of those living on the margins of the American dream. Back in his home country of Pakistan, Ahmad was a famous rock star. Now a widower, separated from his son and adrift in New York, he works long hours selling coffee and bagels from a midtown Manhattan food cart, engaged in a search for human connection and a sense of purpose that seems perpetually just out of reach. So this looks like a really interesting human story that I'm really looking forward to really discovering and learning more about. But I love the cover of this title, and so much of the appeal of these Criterion Collection titles is the cover, right? You look at the cover and you think, wow, I think I want to check that out. So that's certainly the case here with Man Push Cart, and I love the subject matter that it's going to be covering. So that's coming out on February the 23rd. Then the second release from Ramin Bahrani coming out on that same date is a film called Chopra. And this is an interesting sounding title. It says here, for his acclaimed follow-up to Man Push Cart, Ramin Bahrani once again turned his camera on a slice of New York City rarely seen on screen. Willets Point, Queens, an industrial sliver of automotive repair shops that remains perpetually at risk of being redeveloped off the map. Okay? It's within this precarious ecosystem that 12-year-old Ale must grow up fast, hustling in the neighborhood chop shops to build a more stable life for himself and his sister, even as their tenuous circumstances force each to compete with other struggling people and make desperate decisions. So this sounds very similar to Man Push Cart. It seems like a really interesting human story of struggle and survival under some pretty desperate circumstances in New York City. So I'm really looking forward to seeing both Man Push Cart and Chop Shop from this director, Ramin Bahrani, on February the 23rd. All right, so last but not least, the last title to be released in the month of February 2021 from the Criterion Collection is also coming out on February the 23rd, and this title is from Joyce Chopra, and it's called Smooth Talk. So this is Laura Dern's film debut, and let's see what it's about. It's suspended between carefree youth and the harsh realities of the adult world. A teenage girl experiences an unsettling awakening in this haunting vision of innocence lost. Okay? So based on the celebrated short story, Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? By Joyce Carol Oates, the narrative debut from Joyce Chopra features a revelatory breakout performance by Laura Dern as Connie, the 15-year-old black sheep of her family, whose summertime idyll of beach trips, mall hangouts, and innocent flirtations is shattered by an encounter with a mysterious stranger. So this looks really fascinating and very interesting. The cover, I find, is really interesting. As so many of Criterion's covers are, and it really just makes you wonder what's going on in this movie, you know. And plus, being that this is Laura Dern's screen debut, I'm really looking forward to checking this out. It sounds like a very interesting title. I don't believe I've ever seen any works from director Joyce Chopra, so I'm looking forward to discovering this director's work and seeing what they have. So this is a title I will definitely be planning to pick up. So this is Smooth Talk, which is the third title that'll be coming out on February the 23rd. All right, so there you have it. Those are the 5 titles that the Criterion Collection will be releasing in February of 2021. Again, it looks like a very, very strong lineup. You've got the Parallax View from Pakula coming out on February the 9th. On February the 16th, you have Ousmane Sembene's Mandabi. And then on February the 23rd, you have those 3 titles, the first 2 from Ramin Bahrani, which is Man Push Cart and Chop Shop. And then that's followed up by a title from Joyce Chopra starring Laura Dern's first movie appearance in Smooth Talk. So these are all 5 titles that I'm really looking forward to checking out. And like I said before, it's pretty rare that I come across a month where I'm interested in everything that Criterion is putting out. But this is definitely shaping up to be, as far as February 2021, it's shaping up to be one of those months where I'm gonna be interested in picking up all of these. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about these titles? Have you seen any of these movies? Have you seen any of these films? If so, what do you think about these films? What do you think about Smooth Talk or the Ramin Bahrani films? What do you think about those films? Have you seen Man Pushcart or Chop Shop? Have you seen the Parallax View? Have you seen Mandabi? If so, let me know in the comments below what you think about those titles. And also in the comments below, let me know which of these titles you're planning to pick up when they come out next year. So if you like the content on this channel, please feel free to subscribe and click the notifications so that you'll be notified when new content is coming out on this channel. As always, I appreciate your watching, and we'll see you next time at the movies. Peace.